Oh no, Bo. Come on, man. Today we're talking about the Vancouver Canucks captain and the latest updates that we have had when it comes to the contract negotiation process, that in which had been started up earlier in the summer, but at the time of recording this audio had not actually gotten completed. Now, I will say I'm recording this video on Monday, October 3rd. It's 5:01 p.m. at the time of talking into this microphone. The Vancouver Canucks and Edmonton Oilers game has not even gotten underway yet, but I kind of feel like the Canucks are going to get stomped because the Oilers are icing pretty much their regular team. McDavid's there, so is Nugent-Hopkins, Kane, Hyman, and Draisaitl. Meanwhile, the Canucks only really have Podkolzin, Garland, and Höglander, and every other player is an AHL caliber guy. Okay, I mean, Dickinson and Lazar are there too, but they're not really the best players either, so yeah, the Canucks are probably going to get stomped. That's my pre-season game prediction, but at the time of this video's upload, you already know what happened in the game. Who knows if we made a post-game video about it anyway, but either way, we're going over a player that did not play yesterday against the Oilers. It is indeed Captain Bo, and how things might be a little bit more out of hand when it comes to the contract demands than we initially thought they would be. This is what Rick Dhaliwal said yesterday on Twitter. It's referring to what Elliotte Friedman said on his guest appearance on Donnie and Dolly yesterday. Elliotte Friedman on the Bo Horvat contract talks. Everyone knows where they stand. The Horvat comparable is in the Sean Couturier area, aka $7.7 million a year. Now, that's a really simple tweet, and it's pretty much the entire reason we're making this video, but for any Flyers fans coming in there and saying, wait a minute, Sean Couturier, I mean, that guy's pretty gosh darn good. Are you saying that Bo Horvat is as good as Sean Couturier? I'm gonna go out there and tell you, no. No, not even close. Sean Couturier... By the way, we need to make a little update on this guy because I know we had talked about him the entire past few weeks about how unfortunate everything had been, but there actually was a little bit of an update on Sean Couturier. We'll get into that as the video goes on. But Sean Couturier right now is one of the best two-way centers in the entire NHL. He's 29 years old, making $7.75 million a season till the end of 2030. 6'4", 212, he's a big dude, and he's a very capable dude when it comes to scoring points. There's a reason why Sean Couturier had been nominated for the Selke Trophy, and he is a 2-time 70-point guy. You talk about what he has done recently in the most prior seasons of his NHL play. He's been in that 70, 75-ish point pace over 82 games mark as well. He's been very consistent at playing in his own zone, winning faceoffs, and scoring points the past few years. It's just he hasn't really been the healthiest. That's like the only negative to his game at the moment, and you could say that the contract he is on might not age all too well into the future, but he is so talented at the moment that it's difficult to deny that man his respect. We did have ourselves an update, by the way. We had been making videos about Sean Couturier and the injury troubles over the past few weeks, but a recent update did say that he actually does not need any surgery anymore, which actually gives him a much better chance at returning to the Flyers sometime at the beginning of this season rather than being out for the entire year like some of us had initially feared. So, any Flyers fans going out there watching this video, hey, there's your update on your guy. It's a good update. It's one that I am very, very happy to be bringing you here today. But anyways, going back over to the Bo Horvat conversation, when it comes to Bo and what he is, let's take a look at Bo's profile at the moment. You can see 27 years old, 6 feet, 216, a left-handed guy signed till the end of this season, making 5.5. He's not as big as Sean Couturier. He hasn't produced as many points as Sean Couturier has. Couturier has had 2 70-point years. Bo's career high was 61 points in 82 games played. While Sean Couturier can win faceoffs, Bo Horvat definitely can as well, but when it comes to overall defensive play, Couturier has indeed been nominated for the Selke before, which is the award given to the NHL's most proficient two-way player. Bo Horvat hasn't even really sniffed that territory just yet. Now, Bo is a good defensive player. I don't want to make it seem like he's terrible defensively, but he hasn't achieved that same level of stardom just yet where Sean Couturier has been for the past few years. Pile that with the fact that if Bo Horvat signs at $7.7 million a season, he'll be making just a shade under JT Miller's $8 million, an even slighter shade under Quinn Hughes' $7.85 AAV, and Bo will be making like $400,000 more than Elias Pettersson. Not to say that Bo Horvat is not important. He definitely is. He's the captain of the team. He's been here through thick and thin. He was pretty much one of the main forces on the team during the entire rebuild. If you even want to call it a rebuild, the team was just kind of bad. They didn't really do anything to insinuate a rebuild, but either way, Bo was here for it all, and he's really important because of it. However, there's a point that you gotta reach when you say, okay, is it really all too necessary or appropriate to be paying Bo Horvat much more than Elias Pettersson and pretty much in the same territory as Quinn? And he's just under Miller too, who had 99 points. I mean, if Bo was getting 70, 80 points every season, then okay, I could definitely say that there's a reason that kind of contract is appropriate, but he hasn't really done that yet. And so, I get it, negotiations start off at a place where the team gives you, like, I don't know, if you're a player worth $6 million, the team will open the negotiation saying, hey, we can give you 4. And then your agent says, no, my guy wants 7.5. And then you kind of go back and forth and you meet kind of in the middle and you eventually end up getting 6. It's how it always goes, isn't it? But just having this number out there in the public, it makes the optics of it a little bit more intriguing because obviously, you know, Bo Horvat asking for 7.7, he is in the territory of a Sean Couturier. It's difficult for me to go out there and wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment because he's just not that good. Sean Couturier, he had the 70-point seasons in the Selke-nominated year before he got his 7.7 AAV deal. Bo Horvat has not even sniffed that at all. So, for him to be in the similar territory, I don't think it's really appropriate to say. Plus, the internal salary cap, I don't know if Bo really is deservedly in that same territory of a Quinn Hughes, financially speaking, because Quinn is already the best defenseman, most dynamic defenseman the team has ever seen. So, that's some pretty big shoes to go out there and fill. Furthermore, if you want to go long-term, Elias Pettersson is probably going to re-sign in Vancouver by the time his 7.3 AAV deal comes to an end. We already know the team has Miller on lock for a long time too, so if you're going out there giving Miller 8, let's say Petey gets 8 because he blows up and gets 100 points this season and he's really just an absolute franchise-changing superstar over the next few years. Let's say he gets 8+ as well. Do you really want to have 3 centers making 8+ and 7.7? Like, I'm sorry, but from the team's financial building point of view, that does not sound like a good idea at all. I don't want Bo Horvat at 7.7. In fact, let's go over to a tweet made by Cam Robinson that kind of highlights another perspective on the monetary amounts right here. Satyr Shah on Twitter asked the fans this: what's your walkaway number for a Bo Horvat contract? Cam Robinson said, it's all about term. If he goes 8 years, keep it as close to 6 as possible. 5 to 6 years, 7.75 seems like the high water mark. 4 years or less, that's simply not happening because he's going to demand way too much money. And so, for Bo Horvat and the comparable contract situation into the future, I want you to tell me in the comments, what is your opinion on his deal? What should he get? What do you think he's going to get? And if you're negotiating as Patrick Allvin, how much do you want to give this guy? If you give him an 8-year deal, it's a lot easier to kind of work that number down, I feel, to 6, maybe 6.2. He's making 5.5 already, and he's pretty good. Like, he's definitely not a bad player. I think he has sort of outplayed the 5.5 mark. But if he is a $6.5-ish million player right now, what's the point of giving this guy a $7.7 million deal when the guy he's being compared to has accomplished so much more than Bo has, and he's a lot bigger as well? Like, Sean Couturier is a big dude, and he uses his size to be as effective as he is. Bo, while he is an ox, and while he is very good at protecting the puck and gliding in towards the middle of the ice while keeping other players to the inside, he's very good at that. He is just not Sean Couturier. So, I don't know. That's kind of my opinion on it. I feel like Bo probably should be not really sniffing anything more than the Quinn Hughes-ish territory, because Quinn making 7.8, Bo just a shade under that. It's really difficult for me to kind of internalize it in my mind that, yeah, Bo is as important, or he is as good as Quinn Hughes. They're only going to be making a difference of $100,000 because they're just so close in their value and their talent. I don't think that's the case, but I don't know. You can go in the comments and convince me. Maybe I'm just a little bit too high on Hughes. Maybe I'm too low on Horvat. Talk in the comments all your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this Juraj 9. By the way, yes, I did not watch the Oilers game. I was at dinner with my friends because it was a birthday party. So, again, if we made a video yesterday going over the entire game, then I don't know what I'm talking about because the game hasn't happened yet at the time of me talking into this microphone making this Bo video. But all the things beforehand still apply. And bye.